Okay. All right. Can everybody see the yoga mat? I think I have it all set up. All right.
Yeah, I
And
can see
then,
it.
oh, thank you. Perfect. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and mute yourself. If you have any questions, definitely ask in the chat. I have a computer right over here on the side so I can see your chats just in case. For this yoga class, we'll need a yoga mat, and that's pretty much it. If you have sensitive knees, or if you feel like you'd like to try some blocks or some bolsters, then you can grab some 2 blocks and or a sturdy pillow. So I have my computer right over here, so if you have any questions, I'll see the chat. No, that's totally fine. I feel like the yin yoga class is so easy to fall asleep. Sometimes when I'm teaching, I'm like, okay, don't fall asleep, don't fall asleep, especially in Shavasana after all of that just deep breathing and relaxing and grounding. It's hard, so no worries, don't worry about it. Your body just probably needed some extra relaxation. So yeah, we'll get started here in just a little bit. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. Grab yourself something to drink. Take a quick restroom break. Today's class is going to be focusing on, do we turn our cameras on? If you want to turn your cameras on, that's awesome. You don't have to though, no worries. Sometimes people feel like they don't want other people to see them do yoga, which is totally cool. I noticed that whenever we do online stuff, even if it's stuff that I'm joining like as a guest, like that I'm not teaching, it is something that I notice. But I mean, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Either way, no crash, no crash. All right. So we'll take about another 60 seconds. If you need to use the restroom, grab something to drink, grab yourself any blocks or blankets. I got myself a new piece of art yesterday. One of my favorite things to do is like get a little bit stony and go to the Target, which is probably not like the best idea ever. But I found this in the little $5 bin and I'm super excited about it. It's goes really well with all of our paddleboarding stuff in the summer. So I just spent the last couple of days washing all of our boards to prepare for hopefully going sub yoga this week. So that was a cute little addition. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. If you want to find a nice, comfortable seated position, maybe on like a block or a blanket or a big sturdy pillow, find yourself a nice, comfortable seated position. It doesn't have to be crisscross applesauce. You can do legs out in front of you, or you can do legs underneath of you, whichever is most comfortable. And we're going to start today's practice with some deep pranayama, just kind of noticing where our breath is right now. So maybe you even like close down your eyes a little bit. Maybe even like 10%, turning your gaze inward for this first little bit of practice. Just noticing, how is your breath today? Noticing if it's shallow, if you're holding in your belly, or if you're able to take those full deep belly breaths. And there's no judgment or comparison, just a gentle awareness of where you are today. Maybe we invite a deeper inhale here, maybe even our deepest inhale of the day. Filling up our low belly, really allowing the belly to relax, filling it up, allowing the belly to rise, allowing the middle chest to rise, allowing the breath to come all the way into the throat. And then as we exhale, allowing that to just very gently seep out of the mouth as if we're like letting out air from a balloon. So like any sounds that you need to make. Let's do a couple of breaths like that, really allowing our torso, our belly, our chest to expand in all four corners, front, back, side to side. And as we exhale, notice how it feels to allow our hip bones to settle into the earth. Maybe even our spine starts to get a little bit more relaxed. Maybe we're not like sitting straight up, shoulders back. And then allow your lips to seal. And so as you inhale in and out through the nose, create a gentle constriction in the back of your throat, almost as if you're like fogging up a glass or a mirror. Think somebody, how does my breath smell? Remember we used to do that as kids? Especially if like a cute boy was coming by, how's my breath smell? And it almost starts to become like that Darth Vader type of voice or the Darth Vader type of breath, like inhaling slight constriction. Exhaling slight constriction. And this pranayama style is called Ujjayi breath. And this breath is like that oceanic breath. It's the sound of the ocean, the waves ebbing and flowing, crashing on the shore. And so if you're feeling like I need tropical vibes, you can create the tropical vibes right here with your breath today. And this breath is really amazing for creating heat inside of our bodies and for also to help us to create this nice grounded sense of awareness. So a few more breaths with the Ujjayi breath, creating heat. And this class is going to be breath to movement. So inhale, we have a movement. Exhale, we have another movement. So it's going to be very breath to movement. So you'll notice that as we go throughout the class today. Take a nice big breath in, maybe blinking the eyes open just a little bit. And we'll begin our practice. So beginning of our practice, like let's take our arms out to a T, nice and wide, really reaching the fingertips out. Maybe even wiggling the fingers, really stretching them out long, long, long. Feeling the scapula or shoulder bones in the back of our backs start to really kind of spread with our humerus bones, our bicep bones. So really spreading, opening wide, feeling the collarbones, leaning away from each other very gently. Very gently. And then let's take it to arm circles. So small arm circles rolling forward. Rolling. Go real slow so you start to feel like this extension, this slight activation in the shoulder girdle muscles. This practice is all about stability, right? Creating stability within our joints, within our core, helping us to be able to stand upright, especially if you're planning on doing water sports this summer, or skiing, or anything having to do with balance, dance, anything like that. Few more circles going forward, really starting to feel the shoulders burning. And let's bring it to stillness. Reach, fingertips out to the far wide edges of the room. And then let's take it backwards. Shoulders are burning, that's okay. Give them a little bit of love. Thank you, shoulders. Come back to that Ujjayi breath. Ooh, it's burning my shoulders. Few more rounds, around and around. Really lengthen through the shoulders, especially the deltoids here, so that we're not creating a constriction within our neck. 2 more rounds. And reach. And then we'll come to bring our hands down. You can rest them onto your knees. Let's shimmy our shoulders out. Oh my gosh, what burning sensations are we experiencing today? Okay. And then let's take our arms out in front of us.
really reaching forward. And we're gonna try something like almost like isometric type of movement here. We're going to, almost as if we're grabbing something to pull back, right? So we almost create like this little bit of a twist, but we're also creating this tension in the back of our shoulders, our latissimus dorsi muscles, our trapezius. We're pulling back. So almost like we're doing the lawnmower dance. Remember that? We're pulling back, or as if you are an archer pulling the string back from the bow and arrow. So we'll go from right side pull all the way back, left side pull all the way back, and create a slight constriction or a slight sensation with the arms. So you're really feeling like you're having a pulling sensation. Left side pull, right side pull, bring it back. Shoulders are really burning here. Left side pull, just a few more reps. Right side pull, back. Left side pull, bring it back. One more round. Right side pull, bring it back. Left side pull, bring it back. Awesome. So let's take our shoulders back down. Shimmy, shake those bad boys out. Woo, 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 woo. That's crazy. Okay. Let's take it to seated cat and cow. So taking your hands onto your knees. Maybe even if you want to, you can remove any pillows or bolsters that you use to support you. Sturdy pillows are great blankets. Pull them up to the side though. You can take hands onto knees and just a very gentle cats and cows. So gently inhale, pulling the chest through the shoulders, lifting the chin very gently. Exhale, pulling the belly into your spine, curving and rounding back. Inhale, opening the chest, pulling the belly through the shoulders here. Exhale, curving and rounding your back. And as you do these cats and cows, start to feel as if you are pulling up your pelvic floor, right? So almost like we're doing a Kegel exercise. So we're pulling up our pelvic floor, creating a nice foundation for these cats and cows. What's interesting is when we start to pull our pelvic floor up and start to condition that area, you really start to strengthen your core, your deep core muscles as well. A few more rounds. Maybe even taking it to circles, rounding your torso. They call them like Sufi circles or Kundalini circles, really rounding your spine all the way around, round. Going back to that Darth Vader voice or that Darth Vader breath. And as you start to feel good going one way, let's flip it in reverse, going the opposite direction. Probably sounds crazy, but that's okay. Awesome. So as you start to come into some stillness here, let's take a nice deep breath and some stillness, inhaling, lengthening the spine to the top of the ceiling. Exhale, let it go. Let's come into a butterfly shape. So butterfly shape is taking our feet, soles of our feet together. Maybe you take them out wide for a wide butterfly, or maybe you take them out a little bit closer to you, whichever feels most comfortable. And then let's take just a gentle fold here. Folding forward, this is a great time to bring in a sturdy blanket or a pillow or something like that for a little bit of support to support your chest as you start to come down. Hips are really tight today. This might be like your first hip practice of the day. Just give yourself a little bit of gratitude for where you are right now. As you go through the practice, you might notice that your body is gently opens. One more breaths. Last breath. Awesome. Let's roll over our feet. We're going to come into a hands and knees shape. Coming into a hands and knees shape. So wrists right underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And let's go through a few rounds of cats and cows, just a couple here to see what is the difference between our seated cats and cows and our hands and knees cats and cows. So you can inhale, pull the belly down through the mat, through the shoulders, lifting the chin and the tail. Exhale, pulling your belly to your spine, curving rounding. And then roll through a few on your own and really start to feel like, okay, what does my body need? What kind of movements and shapes does my body need? Maybe it's a hip sway from side to side. Maybe we're creating some undulation with our spine, almost as if we're like scooping out the last bit of the Nutella or peanut butter out of the jars all the way around. So really undulating the spine, curving, rounding. This is something my body always needs. Maybe yours is a little bit different. And as you rotate one way, make sure that you rotate the opposite direction to bring some equality into your body, into your spine. You might feel some hip pops, some knee pops. That's okay. If you're feeling any pain under the knees or in the wrists, pad underneath with a blanket. Or even you can take your mat and double it up. Hold it under, you can set your knees onto that. So as you start to find some stillness in your cats and cows, let's take it to a thread, the needle shape. So we're going to place our left hand in the center. Inhale, raise our right arm all the way up to the sky, nice twist. Exhale, curve and dive it through underneath of the left arm, placing your head gently onto the mat. So I'm going to turn around so you can see me. Marley's in the way. So gently resting your head onto the mat. You can leave your left hand in front of the shoulder here, or you can extend it out long, or even take a breath. We're just going to be here for just a few breaths, maybe like 3 or 4. Okay. So whichever feels best, whichever you feel most sturdy and stable. Nice gentle twists. Last breath. Take a nice inhale in. And on your exhale, gently press into the left hand, opening up the right side twist. And then gently bringing it back down. So we're going to turn this into a drill now to give us a little bit of oblique strength, a little bit of core strength here, activating that area. So what that looks like is, lawnmower guy. You guys should really see this lawnmower. It's a big old basket in the front. Why? I don't know. Okay, so what this looks like is placing that left hand back in the center like we just did. Inhale, raising the right arm high. Exhale, we dive it through and we hover. Okay, so we're really activating the obliques here in this nice twist. Hover. Inhale, bring it back up. We're going to do this 10 times, okay? Exhale, curve and dive it through. Hover. Create that core strength. Really also engaging the kegel muscles here too, the pelvic floor. Opening it back up. Exhale, curve, round under, hover. Inhale, bring it up. 3, curve and round it under. 4, inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, dive it through and under. 5, inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, curve and dive it under. 6, you got 4 more. Inhale, bring it back up. And curve and dive it under. Inhale, bring it back up. Curve and dive it under. Inhale, bring it back up. Last one. Curve and dive it under and hold. Hold. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bring it all the way back up. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, bring it all the way back down. Maybe shake the shoulders. Maybe take the hips side to side, little hip sway. Maybe cats and cows. Whichever feels good for your spine. Take a little bit of a moment here. Give it a little bit of love, a little bit of movement. We're going to switch it to the other side. Okay, we'll switch it to the other side. Take your left hand to the center of your mat. You're going to inhale. Raise the left arm all the way to the sky. Nice gentle twist here. Exhale, curve it round and dive it underneath your breath. So this is our first one. We're just going to take a nice gentle stretch here. So remember, you can take hand in front of you, hand all the way extended above your head, or even taking it to a binder twist with the right arm behind the lower back. You're just going to be here for a few breaths. So allow yourself this nice little twist. And the left side and the right side can be a little bit different, and that's okay. Remember, every time that we practice our yoga, our body changes. Every practice we get stronger. So give yourself a little bit of gratitude for where you are today. Last breath. And if you were bound, unwind the bind. Take a nice big inhale. And on your exhale, gently pressing into the right hand, curving, opening up this chest to the left-hand side, all the way up. Exhale, let's bring it all the way back down. So let's prepare for these drills here. Switch to the other side. So taking our our right hand to the center of the mat. Inhale, raise our left arm high to the sky. Exhale, curve underneath of the right hand, hover. We do this 10 times. Inhale, open. Exhale, dive it through. 2. Inhale, open. Exhale, dive it through. 3. Inhale, open. Exhale, dive it through. 4. Curve it open. Exhale, dive it through. 5. Open. 6. Curve it open. Exhale, dive it through. 7. 3 more, almost there. Inhale, dive it open. Exhale, bring it through. Cover. Inhale, open. Exhale, dive it through. Last one. Inhale, open. Exhale, dive it through and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale all the way open. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. Exhale. Let's bring those hands all the way back down. Shimmy, shake it out. Maybe you need to roll your shoulders out. Give them a little shake. No, that was a lot on our shoulders. Give them a little bit of a shake. A little shimmy shake. A little shoulder shake. Shake it out. Doing good, you guys. Doing good. So now we're going to bring it back to hands and knees. And maybe move any blankets or bolsters that you use to support you out of the way. Taking it to hands and knees. So let's try some bird dogs here. So inhale, we're going to extend the right foot just all the way down. Okay. So this is a great kind of first stage if you want to keep it kind of chill, a little bit simple. If you want to invite a little bit of challenge, then you're going to lift your left arm. So it's opposite arms, opposite left. Okay. So what this looks like is we'll inhale, extend. Okay. And it can be up. Exhale, crunch. Okay. So let's try that together. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend, really lengthening through your toes, through your arms. Maybe even wiggle those toes, wiggle those arms, fingers to really extend. Exhale, crunch it in. And when you crunch it in, really bringing in your kegel muscles, your pelvic floor, holding in the low belly, crunching and curving and rounding the spine. Inhale, extend, really reach. Feeling the core engage, creating a nice solid foundation in the center. Exhale, crunch. We're gonna do this 5 more times. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. 3 more. Inhale, extend. Nice and slow too, so we really start to feel the burn. Exhale. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. I think this is the last one. Inhale, extend. Hold. 2, 3. Really lift. 4, 5, and crunch. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. Shimmy, shake it out. Let's take hands and knees back down to the mat. Woo! I don't know about you, but I was really starting to feel it in my left glute there as it was creating that stable foundation for my opposite leg. Okay, so let's flip it to the other side so you can see me. So hands and knees, we're going to try the other side now. Okay, so remember, you can start off with just the simple leg extension. If you want to take it a little bit further, lift the arm. Okay. If you want to go even further, you can invite the crunch. So what that looks like is we'll inhale, lift, really lifting the leg, lifting the arm, creating that nice solid core foundation here. Exhale, we bring it to a crunch, curving around the spine, creating a nice solid foundation with our pelvic floor, our crunch. Inhaling, extend. Exhale, crunch. So we're going to do this 5 more times. Okay. Inhale, extend, really lifting the leg and arm. Exhale, crunch. And we're going to do this really slow so we start to feel the burn. Inhale, extend, creating a nice solid foundation for ourselves. Exhale, curve and round, crunch. Inhale, extend, feeling the solid foundation of that right thigh. Exhale, crunch. Inhaling, extend, creating a light, nice long line. Exhale, crunch. Last one. Inhale, extend and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Exhale, crunch it in. 2, 3, 4. Good job. Take your hands and knees back onto the mat. Let's shimmy, shake it out. Maybe even grab your flesh and give it a little bit of jiggle. Whew. I tell you what, once we start to do those bird dogs, the opposite leg for me always gets on fire. Awesome. So taking it back down to hands and knees, I want to invite you to try something a little bit different. So these are like almost like yogi push-ups, where we're going to do them a little spicy. So the idea is we'll inhale, lift the right leg out long, right? Exhale, inviting yogi push-up. So it's really activating our triceps, okay? So what you can do is you can take your leg down, toes touch the ground, and then when you go tricep dip, you lift the leg. Okay, so let's do that. Inhale, take a nice big breath in. Maybe even lift that leg. Exhale, take it to tricep dip all the way down. Forehead or chin towards the mat, doesn't have to touch. Let's do that 5 more times. Inhale, lifting the leg. Exhale, tricep dip. Inhale back up. Exhale, tricep dip. Inhaling back up. Exhale, tricep dip. Inhaling back up. Exhale, dip it down. Inhale back up. Last one. Exhale, dip it all the way down and hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, lift it all the way back up. Hold the leg up if you can. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, bring it all the way back down. Shimmy, shake your legs out. Hips might be burning. Just a little bit of a shimmy, shaking it out before we flip it to the other side. You're doing good. So let's flip it to the other side. So if you want to take your leg out long, you can place it onto the mat. Or you can go ahead and lift it all the way up. So take a nice big breath in. You can lift your leg wide. Exhale to the tricep dip. Inhale back up. Exhale, dip it low. Inhale back up. Exhale, dip. Inhale, lift. Exhale, dip. Inhale, lift. We got 4 more. Exhale, dip. Inhale, lift. Lift that back leg too. Exhale, dip. Inhale, lift it back up. 2 more. Exhale, dip it down. Inhale, lift it up. Last one. Exhale, dip it down and hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, lift it up. We're gonna hold that back leg up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Exhale. Let's take the knees, hands all the way back down. Shimmy, shake it to the left, to the right. If a twerk is in your practice, maybe invite a little bit of a twerk action. It helps to release the muscle. Helps to release the muscles. It helps to activate your chakras, especially the sacral chakra. And then you can take it down and then just take a little bit of a rest before we move into our next shape. So our next shape is we're going to be coming into a puppy pose here. So coming back into hands and knees. And start to walk your hands out all the way out long. Gently pressing your chest or your forehead towards the mat. You take chin to mat, forehead. Or if you're feeling super flexy, and I don't think it's in my practice today, but you can try to take it all the way down to chest. Whichever feels best for you. Remember, there's no forcing or pushing, just a gentle opening of where we are today. Couple more breaths. Last breath. Inhale, gently lift your head up. And then we'll very slowly start to drop our hips forward, coming into a Sphinx shape. For just a moment here. Giving ourselves a little bit of a break. We'll be doing a lot of shoulder stability, thigh, hip stability work, core work. So just taking a little bit of a break here. Awesome. So as you start to feel, okay, I'm feeling good, I've caught my breath. Let's take it all the way back down. Forehead touches the mat. Or maybe you even bring it to like a blanket or something that's a little bit more comfortable. So taking your forehead down into the mat, arms rest beside of you, palms are facing up. We're gonna go through some locust variations here. So what that looks like is we'll inhale. And on the exhale, we'll gently lift our arms, legs, and head. Okay. Now this is a lot for you. Well, this is gonna be the final variation. Okay, so we're gonna start off with just the head and legs. Okay, so let's do 4 rounds. Okay, so let's take a nice big inhale. Exhale and lift legs and head. 1, 2, holding. 3, 4, 5. Exhale, let's bring it down. Maybe shift the shoulders, hips from side to side. Big breath in. Exhale, we're gonna lift. Lift legs, lift head. So we're creating this nice extension in our back. This nice extension in our hips. Let's hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, lower all the way back down. Doing great. Sometimes these are a little bit tough, so give yourself a little bit of grace. 1 breath. Exhale and lift. Okay, so just the legs. So now that we've lifted, let's take our feet in and out. Okay, they don't really have to touch necessarily, but we're going to take feet in and out, in and out, in and out. Almost like we're doing scissors, but like to the side. In and out. Few more on your own. Really lift. Exhale and set it all the way back down. So you shake your hips from side to side. Maybe shake your hips from side to side. Take a nice big breath in. And on your exhale, we're going to lift all the things. Lifting head, lifting legs, lifting arms, as if we're going to fly away, as if we're all these moths here in Colorado. That's what we are. We're flying everywhere. Okay. Let's hold and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale to go all the way back down. Take a little breath here. Hips to the side. And let's go 2 more rounds, okay? So take a nice big breath in. Exhale and lift all the things. Arms, legs, head, chest. Coming back to the Ujjayi breath. Maybe even taking it to fire breath if that feels good. Opening the mouth, letting the tongue hang open. Letting out some of the heat. Last breath. Exhale to go all the way back down. Take a nice big breath. Maybe shimmy shake the shoulders, or excuse me, the hips side to side. One more big breath in. Let those hips come to stillness. And on your exhale, lift. Lift head, arms, legs. Really lengthening through those toes and arms. Stretching, reaching with the crown of the head to the opposite of the room from your toes. Let's do 5 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Drop it all the way back down to the mat. Maybe shimmy shake your shoulders. Maybe even taking the hands, making a pillow underneath of your forehead and gently resting your forehead onto your hands. Maybe shimmy shaking your hips from side to side. And just notice as you breathe here for the next 5 breaths, just notice how is your back feeling? How's the backs of your thighs? Maybe even your core, how's your core feeling? Take a nice big breath in. And on your exhale, gently lift your head. We're going to take our hands underneath of our shoulders here and come into all fours for just a moment. Let's curve and round our back. Give it a nice curve. And then we'll come to neutral, almost stretching out that lower back. Sometimes it can get a little bit tight with those locusts. So let's take it to forearms now, okay? Now, forearms is not, doesn't feel great in your practice. You can pad underneath of your elbows with a blanket or doubling up your mat, like rolling, creating a little bit of a fold in your mat and then resting onto that on your forearms, whichever feels best for you. So you're gonna take it to forearms. Now tuck your toes. So we're really tucking our toes here. Our elbows are right underneath of our shoulders. Inhale, lift. So now we're coming into this dolphin shape, okay? Now this dolphin shape might be a lot for you, so you can take it to downward facing dog if that feels better. But the dolphin shape is really great, especially if you have any wrist issues or wrist pain, sensitive wrists, things like that. So let's take a nice dolphin shape, and maybe this is your first like dolphin or even downward facing dog with the day. So maybe we'll just pedal out the legs just for a little bit. Straightening into one leg and bending into the other, allowing the backs of the legs to really open here. Coming back to your long, deep exhales, or even coming back to that ujjayi breath, creating more heat in your body. Somebody actually told me that, like, every time you exhale the carbon dioxide, it creates this, like, scientific gas reaction that helps you burn fat. So every time you breathe, you're burning fat. How interesting. I see that. There's probably more to it. So a few more rounds in this dolphin shape before we take it to a little bit spicier. Awesome. So start to find some stillness in your dolphin shape, maybe straightening the legs or maybe creating a nice bend if that feels good. Really supporting this shape with your torso, with your abs, with your abdominal muscles, really pulling in the core, pulling in the low ribs, creating a nice solid foundation. So we'll inhale and take a nice solid foundation with your toes. On the exhale, keep the left leg bent, and then we'll straighten the right leg, lifting it up to the sky. Now this can be a lot, so feel free to take it to hands and knees, okay? Hands and knees and lifting the leg. So whichever feels best in your practice, there's always a modification and variation you can try. Inhaling, lifting that leg. Exhaling, let's crunch it in. Inhaling, lifting. Exhale, crunching in the knee towards the tricep. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch it towards the tricep. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunching it in towards the tricep. And then taking the foot all the way back down. Again, you can take it to hands and knees. And actually, everyone take it to hands and knees. And let's shimmy shake those hips out just a little bit before we move it on to the other side. You're doing good. This is a little bit tough. Awesome. So curl those toes, shift your hips up and back. We're going to do dolphin once again. And then create a nice solid foundation with your feet. Make sure that you feel good there. Inhale, lift the left leg this time. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, curve and round. We're going to bring it tricep, knee to tricep. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to tricep. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to tricep. 3 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to tricep. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to tricep. Last, inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to tricep. Good job. You can take it back to dolphin, or you can take it to all fours, hands and knees, maybe even shimmy shaking those shoulders out. Maybe rolling them out, maybe sitting on your heels, rolling your shoulders out a little bit. Ooh, I know that can be a little bit tough. And then as you start to feel good, your shoulders are a little bit released. Let's take it back down to our forearms, but this time we're going to do forearm plank. Okay. So coming back into our forearms and our knees and extending our feet all the way out long, coming into a forearm plank. Now this is really great, especially if you have some trouble with your wrists. Regular plank pose is hard, or high plank pose is difficult. So this is a great alternative. You can even take knees gently onto the mat. So we're going to hold plank for 3 long breaths. 1, 2, really holding in the belly, even pulling in those Kegel muscles, those pelvic floor. 3, let's drop our knees, take it all the way back down. Let's take it to Sphinx pose for just a second. I'm sweating. Are you guys sweating? Whew. Couple of breaths. Doing good. And so wherever you are, let's take our hands underneath of our shoulders here. And we can press up into an upward facing dog, or you can come back to that Sphinx pose, or even Cobra pose, whichever feels best for you. Take it into upward facing dog. And then shift through hands and knees, tucking the toes. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog this time, okay? So if you didn't do downward facing dog earlier, then give it a try this time. If it's tough for you, maybe tough on the ankles or wrists, then you can come back to forearms. And let's roll through a few little bending of the knees here, bend and straighten of the knees in downward facing dog here. And then we'll invite some twists. Okay, so this is a little bit different. Okay, now if downward facing dog is tough for you, you can always come down to hands and knees. Okay. So coming back into our downward facing dog, let's take it to twist. So take our feet a little bit wider than hip width distance, maybe not quite the wide edges of the mat, but a little bit wider. So take a nice big inhale in. Exhale, we're gonna reach right hand, left ankle. Tap it, bring it back. Inhale, exhale, left hand, right ankle. Bring it back. Inhale, exhale, right hand, left ankle. So we're just crossing over with every breath. Reach, bring it back. Exhale, reach, bring it back. Exhale, reach, bring it back. Maybe you don't touch your ankle. Maybe you just reach toward your ankle, and that's okay. Feel the abs, feel the obliques, start to really support this movement here. Let's do 3 more rounds. 2 more rounds. Last round, you're doing good. And let's take it all the way back downward facing dog, just a second. Really taking a nice bend in the knees, pressing your hips back towards, or excuse me, pressing your chest back towards your thighs. Releasing the tension in your neck. Maybe you shake your head, yes. Maybe you shake your head, no. One more big breath here. Exhale, let's take it all the way back down onto our knees. Doing super good, you guys. Doing super duper good. So let's take a few rounds of cats and cows here, just to kind of allow ourselves to release fully in our spine. So take a few rounds. We'll inhale, drop our belly to the mat, lift the chin. Exhale, pulling your belly to your spine, curving and rounding your back. Let's go through a few rounds on our own, just to allow ourselves just a little bit of release here. Doing great. Let's tuck our toes. Let's come back through downward facing dog 1 second, because we're gonna walk our feet all the way forward towards our hands. So a nice gentle hanging forward fold here. Maybe you take your feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. Maybe you even fold your forearms over each other, allowing the head to fully dangle and relax. Maybe a nice bend in the knees feels super good for you right now, especially allowing the lower back to release. A few more breaths. Last breath, really enjoy it. Go ahead and unwind your forearms. Gently start to straighten your legs as you very slowly, as if you're moving through cold honey, start to roll yourself all the way up to standing. Take your time, allowing the blood to come back from your head, giving yourself a little bit of Nice gentle roll. And when you get to the top, roll your shoulders back. Do a couple rolls over shoulders, rolling them up and rolling them back down, up, back, and down, up, back, and down. Last one, up, back, and down. Awesome. Shimmy, shake the shoulders out a little bit. Inhale, raise your arms all the way up to the sky. Look up, palms touch. Exhale, let's swan dive forward, all the way back forward. Fold. Hands come toward the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Hands come to shins or even thighs. Exhale, take it all the way back down, bending the knees, planting your hands, and let's come into a plank pose, high plank pose. Let's hold plank for 3 breaths. Remember, you can always take it to knees. If you're trying to build up strength in your plank pose, maybe you can just hover the knees. Last breath. And then very slowly, again, moving through cold honey, very slowly start to drop yourself through a chaturanga all the way to your belly. Inhale, Sphinx pose. Just for a second, so elbows come underneath of the shoulders. Exhale, taking your hands underneath the shoulders, dropping your head, shifting into all fours, tucking your toes, very gently start to lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. So 3 breaths here. And maybe on every inhale, you pull in your kegel muscles, your pelvic floor. And every exhale, you gently release. Let's very gently start to walk our feet forward, coming into cross-legged, and then we'll sit onto our butts. Sit onto our just our butts. So we got a little bit of time left. We're going to roll through a few core exercises. Since this is a core stability flow. Check if we have any chats. Cool, we're doing good on chats. All right, so let's take some boats here. So it's summertime, we want to get on the water. Let's get on a boat, a raft, a kayak, a paddleboard, whatever. So taking your feet a little bit further in front of you, creating a nice angle with your legs here. You can take it to tippy toes if that feels good. You can take feet flat. Okay, we're gonna go through a few rounds of boat pose, Navasana, before we start to really settle into our favorite Shavasana. Okay, so let's take our feet a little bit farther out. I'm going to do toes here. And so what you want to do with your torso, maybe even moving the flesh out from underneath of your bottom area, and then very gently start to lean back. Okay, so we're tucking and holding in the lower abs here, but opening up the upper chest. Okay, so it's a little bit different. So we're creating this nice solid foundation with all of our core. We're starting to feel this wrapping in with our obliques. Our lower abs are pulling in, and our upper abs are nice and secure in the top here. Okay, so arms come out parallel. You can stay on tippy toes if that feels good. We're going to do 5 breaths. 1, 2, doing good. 3, 4, last one, 5. Awesome. Planting the feet, coming all the way back up, maybe arching the lower back, opening the knees. And let's do it one more time. Okay, so you can take tippy toes this time, or you can take legs out parallel. Try it, see if you like it. Arms come out, creating that nice solid foundation with our core. 5 more breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, 5. Awesome. Exhale, bring it all the way back down, maybe even pulling your chest through open knees. And then let's do it one more time. So this is a great time if you want to straighten your legs all the way. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to straighten my legs, but let's try it. So straightening your legs, if you want to, you can come back down to knees bent or even toes onto the mat, whichever feels best for you. Inhale, take the arms out long, parallel to the mat, pulling your belly into your spine, creating a nice solid foundation with your core. Let's go 5 breaths here. 1. Ooh, I'm shaking. 2. 3. 4. 5. Good job. Planting your feet. Let's open those knees out to the side. And let's pull our chest through, just a little bit of a butterfly. Maybe we even flutter our butterfly wings. So, so bouncing your knees up and down. And excuse me, let's slowly roll over onto our backs, taking your time, gently rolling onto your back. Keep your feet planted. So knees are bent, feet are planted. And let's roll through some bridge. Okay. So feet are about hip width distance apart. Maybe you shimmy them back towards your glute muscles just a little bit, whichever feels best on your knees. Okay. You don't want to do too close if your knees are like, no, ma'am, don't. We want to honor our body here. Okay. So taking your knees a little bit bent, feet are planted onto the mat. Let's take our hands next to our hips here. Okay. Palms face down. Inhale, lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. Maybe if it feels good and you feel a nice solid foundation, you lift the right foot high. 3 breaths. Last breath. Exhale, bring your foot all the way back down. Really lift the hips all the way up. And exhale, gently dropping them down to the mat. Good job. Let's try it to the other side. So maybe you readjust here. And then inhale, lifting the hips. Maybe you try to lift the left leg high this time. Left leg goes high and feel what that feels like for the right thigh to create a foundation all on its own. Maybe you start to feel a little bit burning in that thigh. Let's do 3 breaths here. 1, 2, really lift the hips. 3, dropping that left foot all the way back down, lifting the hips one more time, and then gently starting to dropping them all the way back down to the mat. Awesome. Good job, everyone. So let's bring the left leg out long all the way. So extend the left leg out long all the way, and then bring the right knee in towards your chest. Give it a nice big hug. Maybe even thanking your knee and your legs and your hips for coming to yoga practice today. And then gently spin that right knee over to the left-hand side, maybe onto a sturdy pillow or a blanket if you need to give yourself a little bit of extra support. Maybe even taking your arms to cactus arms. Or if it feels better to hold that right knee with your left hand, please feel free to hold on to that. Easy twist. Take a nice big breath in. And then your exhale, maybe you use your left hand to gently press your knee back up and over to the center. Give your right knee a little bit of a hug. Thank you, knee. before sending it long all the way down on your mat. Beautiful. Let's bring in the left knee in this time. Bring in the left knee, give it a nice big hug. Thank you, knee. Thank you, hip. Thank you for coming to yoga practice today. And then very gently spin that left knee over towards the right hand side. Nice twist here. You can take arms to cactus arms, or maybe you hold on to that left knee for a little bit of support. Few breaths here. Initiate a longer inhale here. And on your exhale, maybe you use your right hand to gently bring that feet back up to center. Give it a little bit of a hug before sending it long on its way down to the edge of the mat. Coming into our final shape of the day. You earned it. It's Shavasana. So maybe you take your legs out long, all the way out wide, to the wide edges of your mat. Maybe even take your arms up wide over your head, like you're cheering for joy. Coming into star pose, really taking up space in your mat, in your house, in your room, in your life, because you deserve it. Amazing. World needs more of you. If you're feeling a little bit more introverted today, please feel free to come to a normal or a regular Shavasana, taking your arms out to the sides of your body, maybe even walking your legs in a little bit closer, whichever feels best for you today. Honor yourself. Honor yourself with this practice. And as we rest in Shavasana, let's take a mental scan, gently closing our eyes. And as if we're a 1990s scanner, gently scanning from the top of our head. And as we scan, relaxing through our eyes, relaxing our jaw, releasing tension in our throat and our neck, melting our shoulders and chest. Relaxing all of our organs as if they're ice cubes floating in hot water, just melting. Releasing our hips, melting our thighs to the mat. Relaxing our knees and our calves. Releasing tension in our ankles and our feet and our toes. Whole body relaxation. This is a great time to invite in any affirmations or gratitude practice. Invite a longer, deep breath in here. Bringing a little bit of gentle awareness back to your body. Maybe start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Awakening sensation. Maybe take it to ankle circles and wrist circles. Maybe you even take your arms overhead, giving yourself a nice, good morning stretch, lengthening from head to toe. Maybe if it feels good, you bend into your knees, bringing your knees into your chest, giving yourself a nice big hug, thanking yourself for coming to yoga practice today, for filling your cup with yoga, with community. And as you feel ready, maybe you even roll yourself to your preferred side, using your upper arm as like a pillow. And as you feel ready to awaken anew, refreshed, a whole new person, gently start to bring yourself back up to a seated position. Maybe even closing the eyes down, keeping them closed just a little bit longer. Take a nice big breath in. Exhale, let it go out of your mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling deeply. Exhale, let it go. Releasing any sounds that need to come out. Last breath. Inhale deep. Exhale, let it go. Bringing your hands to a prayer in front of your heart. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Stability Flow class. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Namaste. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can feel free to come off of mute or pop it into the chat. Yeah, that was freaking challenging as heck. I was over here sweating. Sweating everywhere. Yay! Awesome. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of the day. If I'll try to get the stability flow class back into the schedule as we go through summer. I'll have to see where it can fit in, but if not, you can feel free to reach out for a one-on-one session. We can definitely get that on the schedule for you. Awesome. I hope y'all have a great day. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, Tuesdays are my favorite. And if you're local, paddleboarding yoga is starting in June. I believe it's next week, if I'm not mistaken. So come on through. Awesome, you guys. Have a great night. I'll see you later.